with all the queer youth who will be affected. Okay. Our state has shown a callous disregard for the well-being of young people, from the shooting of 3 unarmed teenagers on February 20th, to the efforts to restrict access to reproductive health care, and the efforts to attack trans people and their access to adequate health care. These politicians believe queer people are dangerous, and they are correct. We are dangerous to their narrow minds and perspectives on acceptable behaviors and roles of different genders.
Preach!
We are dangerous to the systems which keep them in power. From the efforts to censor education to banning access to health care, the end goal of the state legislature is clear and amounts to nothing less than the eradication of trans people. But not everyone will be affected the same. Different minorities and people who are already at a disadvantage will always be affected worse, as will those in rural parts of Kentucky. I can't speak to those experiences. To those who don't feel safe enough to speak themselves, I want them to know that they are not alone. And And with that, I would like to pass this off to Joy McAtee, who is the Executive Director of the Office of Equity, and here to represent the Mayor's office as well.
Thank you so much, everyone. I certainly appreciate you coming out today to rally for such a justice cause. I've had the opportunity to listen to some of the testimonies that were given just this week in Frankfurt. Some from folks who were on the right side of history, and some testimonies from folks who choose to use smoke screens, misinformation, fear-mongering, and hate disguised as do no harm as a means to justify why folks who don't fit within their perimeters of what identity is, to deem them unworthy of health care and life. And I say life because that's what's at stake. LGBTQ youth are experiencing some of the highest rates of mental health issues and suicides. It's not hard to want what's best for your neighbor, for your coworker, for your classmate, for a loved one. It's not hard to want peace and happiness for a complete stranger. But that's something that so many of our legislators have failed to do. But I've been so encouraged by the number of brave youth across our state who have stood up in solidarity and walked out of classrooms on behalf of trans youth that they know and don't know to fight for their rights. Because that takes courage and decency. And that's what I see with the youth of this city and in our state, and it gives me hope. You know, this is a very serious situation, and lives will ultimately be lost because of decisions of youth in our state capitol. But I hope you remain ever faithful, knowing that the Mayor's office, the Greenberg administration, and the Office of Equity is here to stand with you and to fight and to rebuke these anti-trans legislative bills that are coming forward by so many wonderful folks and families in our Commonwealth, and we will not stand for it. And I hope that folks, especially youth, as you are nearing voting age and thereon after, I implore you to remember the legislators who told you that your humanity does not matter, that your life does not matter, and that you will continue your advocacy at the polls and vote them out. And please, do not be deceived by people or elected officials who have co-opted the word woke and now use it as a ploy to demonize people who are simply trying to live out the essence of the American dream and the values that we claim to hold so dear of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because at the most basic level, this is what this fight is about. So that trans youth here in Kentucky and all across America and the world have the ability to live a healthy and full life, to have the liberty to show up in all spaces without being discriminated against, assaulted, or murdered, and to pursue happiness in the way that they see fit. Again, I thank you so much for having me. Keep up the fight. In the Office of Equity, we're standing here in solidarity with you. Thank you.
Hey you all. Okay, so the order is going to be changing around a little bit because, you know, people are taking their time to get here. Also, my teacher is unavailable, is sick out. So if there are any teachers here who would like to speak on this issue, please let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to pass this to Jared Cassidy. Thank you all so much.
Hold on. So, my name is Jared Cassidy. I'm University of Louisville Young Democratic Socialist co-chair, and I'm on the steering committee of the Louisville Democratic Socialist chapter. So, in the past few weeks, we've been witnessing on the U of L campus not just discriminatory measures from the state, but here in our own city of Louisville. As a queer person who has come from rural Kentucky to Louisville, expecting something different, expecting safety, expecting a comforting environment, I kind of come to expect a really different environment than what I'm being provided with at the university and within this city. What we have to realize is what we're not just fighting people at the state, we're fighting people here in our own community, and it's part of an issue that we have to organize not just against these people in the red counties, but really here at home. It's about organizing our workplace and our communities to fight for queer power. It's about organizing everyone and realizing that at the end of the day, working class queer people are going to be the ones that are most disenfranchised by these laws, and are going to be the ones that are most exposed to violence here in our city and in our state. When we see these bills passed, disenfranchising our queer youth, completely admonishing their identity, and essentially sentencing them to death in this instance, we need to understand, how do we take offense? How do we keep on fighting for power in a way that is not just reacting to these issues? Last year, we faced a state amendment, one that threatened to ban abortion statewide. What we need to do is not just face these in reaction, we need to face these offensively, take power for ourselves, and take power for the queer community in a way that this state and this city cannot deny. What we see and what we need from Louisville, and what we need not just from state representatives posturing, not just from the mayor's office, we need action. We need Louisville to actually take a stance against the rest of the state and actually take a stand to protect the queer community and the queer working class here in Louisville in a way that they've not been able to do up until this point. What we need is not just words. What we need is an actual stand against everything that is going on in this state. If Louisville wants to posture itself as one of the safest spaces in the South for LGBT youth and for the LGBT community, it needs to actually show out. This isn't just about the kind of rhetoric that we see some of our state representatives come up with here, up in Frankfurt. When it comes down to it, we need to see them in the streets. We need to see them within our communities, within our workplaces, actually organizing for power. For us, for queer working people, our power is not going to come from money. Our power is not going to come from people up high above lending us down. Right. Some blessing is going to come from ourselves. It's going to come from the power of the masses, and it's going to come from organizing among ourselves. There's no other antidote. There's no other antidote to actually solving our issues than organizing in our community and actually fighting for our own rights. Of course, this rally, I'm very happy to see everybody out here. It's beautiful. I love to see it. And I think we need to understand, what are the next steps for us? How do we take the power that should rightfully be ours? And how do we take control of our own lives? Thank you.
just want to say that the Republicans, lawmakers, are so corrupt, and they are using religion and issues so they could screw the people. And I really feel it's important for me to say that they're using people's religion and issues and turning people against each other because they are corrupt and they work for the rich to screw us. And that's all I want to say.
Okay. Well, thank you to Jared and everyone else who wants to share their perspective up here. And I would like to pass this off to Chris Kolb, who is on the JCPS school board. And I don't know where you are, but okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you, Piper, for inviting me, and thank you for planning this, and thank you, everybody, for coming. It's hard to know what to say, really, about a group of grown people, mostly grown men, who score political points by attacking children. This is obviously, well, first I want to say that this JCPS board member is very proud of all the JCPS students that have taken a strong stand, including many of you. That's one of the most powerful pieces of evidence that I've ever seen that you are actually learning something good in schools, I hope. Along with all the other stuff. You know, this is an issue that obviously relates to the rights and freedoms of people, but there are several other initiatives that the state legislature is trying to pass that on the surface don't necessarily appear to be related to trans people, but are issues that encourage schools to punish children very harshly, to essentially push them out of school, to put police officers in school, to put metal detectors in school. We know that when these things happen, it's always the most vulnerable kids that suffer the worst consequences. African American kids, low-income kids, queer kids, and we should be aware of those bills as well. We've heard a lot recently, the last 4 or 5 years, about anytime a powerful white straight male is criticized the least little bit on social media, they cry about cancel culture. Meanwhile, we have these very same people that are literally trying to cancel people's very existences with laws. There is no cancel culture more powerful than telling entire groups of people that they don't matter. All of us here know that you do matter. This JCPS board member knows that you do matter. And this JCPS board member will do everything I can to convince my colleagues and everyone at JCPS. And finally, it is true, I think that, well, maybe two more things. You know, we have freedom, supposedly, in this country, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom to be who you are. So efforts to pass bills like the ones that we've seen in Frankfurt, frankly, are nothing short of un-American. Though I frequently have a hard time identifying with the Christian church in many ways these days, I was raised that way. And everything that I learned about Christianity and about religion in general tells me that there's nothing more un-Christian than what the Republicans in Frankfurt are trying to do right now. So when you strip away the clothing and religion that they try to dress these things up in, when you strip away the clothing and Americanism that they try to dress these things up in and get down to it, all you have left is really just pure old-fashioned hate. And part of the reason for that hate is because they do want us all to be divided from one another. They do want to distract us from the fact that this same session they have lowered the taxes of the rich and raised taxes on the poor. And those things, as the previous unplanned speaker said, are definitely connected as well. So thank you again, Piper, for inviting me. Thank you for being here, and please continue to exercise power in whatever way that you can. Yes, we should vote them out, absolutely, but it's really time to use whatever form of power that we can get our hands on to counter the efforts to cancel people's very existences. Business leaders in Louisville should know that we're not going to accept them being here doing business, making money in Louisville unless they take a stand for all Louisvillians.
Yes, sir.
The mayor's office and Metro Council people should know that they're not going to be able to stay silent on this issue, that they're going to have to do everything that they can, legally and otherwise, to protect people. And I'll make sure that people in JCPS know that we need to use every means at our disposal to make sure that every kid in JCPS is protected. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, and so I'm gonna pass this off to. Is this on? Yes, it's on. Okay, I'm gonna pass this off to someone named Elijah, who's a Grand Youth Emmanuel, who recently helped organize a walkout over at Manual. Uses youth. Elijah, where are you? Come on. Go. Oh my God. Okay. This is so
on?
Yeah.
You hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Piper, thank you for inviting me here tonight, and thank you all for being here. I know with all like the electricity stuff going on right now, we had to take like 7 detours to get here. It's insane. As Piper said, I organized a walkout this weekend at Manual, not this weekend, at Manual on Wednesday. It was beautiful, and I'm truly privileged to be up here and speaking on behalf of the trans youth that will be affected if this bill does indeed pass the House, which obviously that is not good. My name is Elijah, my pronouns are he and him, and I have been on hormone therapy for 5 months now. And I'm a proud Manual Crimson, and I will be celebrating my 16th birthday this June as myself. I came out to my mom, the best mom in the world, when I was 13, and I spent my first year as an openly trans man, freshman year, which was last year, and I've never felt more free in my life. It's like a weight. I feel amazing. And the weight had gotten to the point where I could not talk to my own mother in the comfort of my own home because of how ashamed I felt of being myself. And over a year, we had talked about going on testosterone and puberty blockers, but then we would back off because it's a huge decision. And it is a huge decision. I am not ignorant in that fact. I know I am making life-changing decisions with my body. I am educated. And there's... Sorry.
You got it.
I just started to go on.
We got you.
Yeah. I went on hormone therapy because it was so hard watching everyone else grow up around me as themselves, and I feel like I'm being left behind. It was so painful watching all of my male friends get taller, more muscular, deeper voices, everything like that. So, I'm a criminal for wanting that, right? I'm a criminal for wanting to be myself, right? So now that I'm 5 months in, I've reached a genuine level of peace that I've never felt before. And for once, I know what it's like to question myself and it not be related to my appearance. I cannot describe to you how painful it is having to question every single thing that you do. Like, did my voice give me away in this conversation that I just had? Does my hair look masculine? Am I standing too small? Is my contour blending enough? And it got to the point where I wanted to take my happiness away because it just felt like everything was working against me. But if I did, I would have never known how it feels to stand here in the city that I love, in front of people that I love. So now when those questions are asked, I say, so what? I am myself, I love myself. I'm never gonna apologize. legislators want to take that away from me. House Bill 470 will kill transgender children. But maybe that is what they want. Because there have been bills moving forward and passing that are banning drag performances, that are forcing kids to transition, when there have been over 1 million people affected by gun violence in the last decade, when there has not been a single person killed by a drag queen in the past decade. Tell me why there have only been 8 gun reform bills introduced this year, but there have been 340 anti-trans bills. What am I doing that puts my precedent over the hundreds of thousands of Americans that are killed every single year due to gun violence? My being trans has never put anyone in physical harm. Do you feel like you're in danger?
No!
Are you in danger because I am transgender and I'm standing in front of you?
No!
No, you are not. That is the most ridiculous thing I've heard all day. Trans people are not the issue. Stop forcing kids to feel like they do not deserve to be who they are in this world. My name is Elijah. Thank you so much. Before I get off my high horse, when I say trans rights are what, I want you to yell at the top of your lungs, human rights.
Trans rights are what?
We have lots of water.
Well, thank you so much, Elijah.
Thank you. Love
and
you.
thanks to everyone who's coming out here. And now I would like to pass it. Kate, are you here?
Where's Kate?
Kate, you're here. Kate, come on.
Yeah. Hey.
Kate is in middle school.
Let's go, Kate.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go, Kate.
You are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Go, Kate.
Yeah.
You just put it up to your face.
Oh, okay. Hello, I am Kate. I identify as a trans female, and I have been on puberty blockers trying to get on estrogen for 2 years now. And I wrote this speech for a walkout that I had planned at my school, and I thought it would make sense to say it here.
Yes, ma'am.
And this one is more focused on House Bill 150, but I am here against, House Bill 470 and, all of the anti-LGBTQ bills being brought up. My rights are not up for debate.
Yes, ma'am.
Our rights are not up for debate.
Period.
School is supposed to be our home away from home, a safe place for us to express who we are, and yet sadly the government doesn't want that. They want to control and oppress us minorities because our loud, proud behavior makes them uncomfortable. Us being happy in our own skin makes them uncomfortable. We are here not just to protest House Bill 150, but to protest every bill against us oppressed people, to fight for the rights that our heroes have fought for. Marsha P. Johnson, a black trans woman who fought at the front lines of the Stonewall riots. Ma Rainey, the mother of blues, who was an openly lesbian woman who faced discrimination for both the color of her skin and her sexuality. Sally Ride, the first female astronaut, was an openly queer woman. All the gay men who died during the AIDS crisis because a doctor wouldn't so much as step foot in a room with an AIDS-infected man. We're here to fight for the teenagers who have lost their lives either self-inflicted or inflicted by others. We are here fighting for the trans women forced into men's facilities and who get sexually assaulted by guards and prisoners alike. I will not sit down while everything we have fought for gets taken away from us. I will not sit down while everything I fought for gets taken away from me. To quote Audre Lorde, a woman who describes herself as a black lesbian, mother, warrior, and poet, my silences had not protected me, your silence will not protect you. And to those who didn't believe me or said, nobody cares, look where I'm at now.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Ain't that up? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna have some space for other students to talk. But first, we need to say gay. So, these are the don't say gay bills. So what are you gonna say when I say? Say!
Gay!
Gay!
Marshall!
Yeah. Marshall, you can tell us why he's here.
Go Marshall!
Okay, cool. Well, first, like everyone else, I want to thank Piper. For the whole reason I knew this was happening in the first place, so thanks for that. But, it's really heartening to see everyone here today. And, I just want to remind everyone who's watching from the sidelines that we're all here today, not just in solidarity with ourselves and who we know we are, and not just with all the queer youth that this bill targets. We are here in solidarity with all the students, parents, and teachers in Kentucky who care about safety. Studies consistently show that experiencing gender affirmation in even one context, be it home, work, or school, cuts suicidal ideation in trans youth by a third. This bill would force schools to out students to potentially abusive parents. It would hamper efforts to use students correct preferred pronouns and prevent students of any gender or sexual orientation from accessing the mental health resources with privacy and dignity that they deserve. This is because the point of the bills, and all the bills passing throughout the country, is to erode student safety, to cut a lifeline to trans youth, and promote harassment. But they will not win.
No, they will not.
Because we are here. We exist.
Yes, we
Our feelings are natural.
Yes.
They will not win. They can never win. Because we will always exist.
Yes.
Yeah. Trans rights are human rights. 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 Okay, fine. You can take away my soapbox.
Great, thanks, Marshall.
Love you, Marshall.
Okay, and I was just, someone who arrived here is asking for a chance to speak, to tell his story, which I think is very valuable here, and thank you so much for offering this. So I'm going to hand this to Bob, and he can introduce and tell the rest. So.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I don't have prepared remarks. I wasn't planning on speaking, but I feel like I'm compelled to. My son, Henry Burke Rousseau, died 2.5 months ago. It's something I've been worried about for years. He was bullied, he was teased, and he was trans. I'm wearing his shirt in commemoration. We had it given to us by the HRC in Washington, D.C. during a service. He has been working for his own rights for so long. It shouldn't be this way. Hate should not be a political platform. I don't know what to say other than I am so glad y'all are here, and thank you so much for what you do. And just keep the fight up. I want to turn around here for a second and let you read the back of his shirt. This is a quote that he did. He was the deputy press secretary up there and worked on these bills. He was only 24. He was the first to come out of his school. It was tough. It was tough on us. You don't expect these things when you're raising your child. You expect things to be easy and straightforward. But I would not have it any other way except to have him back. I don't want a symbol. I want my son. That said, these people that would say that we're politicizing this, what are they doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you all.
you.
We love you.
Fuck me. Oh, yeah.
Well, I am incredibly grateful for someone being willing to share that story. And I am so sorry for your loss.
We're Henry.
Yes.
Henry.
Yes. I will open this up in a moment to some different students who might want to share their perspective on why they're here. But first, I'd like to thank Riot for this megaphone right here. Yesterday, it was all windy, and we were hunting around the city to find that megaphone, but clearly, I cannot be held responsible for putting batteries in a megaphone. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so who first? You want to go? Okay.
Let's go, Gray. Come on. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Gray.
Hi. My name's Gray.
Hi, Gray.
Parker.
Hi, Parker.
That's Naya.
Hi,
This is
Sarah.
Erica.
Hi, Erica.
And we are some of the students that joined Elijah's walkout on Wednesday at DuPont Manual High School down on Market.
Yeah.
Parker and I really spoke out about a lot of things and issues going on in our community. And I'm sorry, I'm just like, this amount of people, it's just this topic.
You got it. We love you. We love you.
Seeing this amount of people
We
in our
love you.
community that is so targeted against makes my heart
We love
filled
you.
with joy because to see all of you all here to support us and to be here with us, to fight with us means so much.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to say that with this bill, if any of these bills are be passed in the Senate, the number of suicide rates in trans children and LGBTQ youth will skyrocket. Throughout the decades, the number of kids committing suicide due to bullying and harassment and feeling like they are neglected, whether that's at school or whether that's at home, have been climbing up for decades to come, and it's just not right. People, just because of their sexual orientation and because of the way that they identify themselves, do not make them any less human.
Oh, God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The number of people lost due to hate crimes, we wrote some names down to show just a small fraction of people that have been hate crimes, that have been murdered because they are trans, because they are gay, and it's not right whatsoever. No,
It's not right. No. You're just talking to me.
Not that much long ago, I had hosted at DuPont Manual a walkout against abortion. And
Let's go.
our rights as women were taken away then. And it's no different now. What happened to being pro-life when Raylan Thomas was killed with an assault rifle? What happened to pro-life when Bianca, Wilka, Terry Bush were killed? Where is that pro-life stanza now? It's always freedom of speech until it goes against their agenda. And here today is just one step in order to prove to them we're done.
We're done.
We're done being silent. We're here to speak out. We're done speaking to their agenda. And we are here creating our own on the right side of history. That's right.
Speak.
Today we are here to speak. You will no longer silence me. I will no longer sit scared, alone, feeling like I have no one to turn to because of how I decide to express myself.
Yes.
That's right,
Yes. Amen.
We refuse. And today we tell them, say their names! Say their names, because guess what? Just like everybody else, they were human. But it's human rights unless they're black, unless they're queer, transgender, or poor. Then you're pro-choice. And today is the day where we take one more step forward to change what we call the land of the free and the home of the brave. And today we show that we are the home of the brave.
Speak. Yeah.
Hi all, my name is Parker.
Hey, Parker.
I just want to start off by saying I fucking love each and every one of you, and I see you, and I
We
hear
love
you,
you.
and I
I know how horrifying this can be. I have felt horrified to even walk into a school building. I know exactly what it feels like. I know what it's like to not want to live anymore because of who you are. And I'm proud of all of you.
We're proud of you. We love you.
And I couldn't be more grateful to have this community.
Yes, sir.
The one word that keeps crossing my mind the more and more I think about this situation in our country is fear. There are kids as young as 11 years old in no middle school that were protesting from 7 a.m.
Yes.
11-year-olds horrified to be who they are. Are we gonna fucking let that slide? No! That's right! Because they're children. There are kids out there scared. Like Kate, I see you. I am so proud of you for being who you are.
Yes, Kate! Love you! Yeah!
We're not gonna let it happen. We're not gonna let it happen. They will not win.
No, they won't.
Because we're here.
We are. Yes, we are.
And we're not going anywhere.
No, we are not.
And I love you. All of you.
We love you too, We love you too.
To conclude this, there will come a reckoning. There will be a reckoning. It won't be aggressive or anything like that because that's not how we do it here. We don't need to fight with violence. We don't need to attack. We don't need to be hateful. We don't need to do anything that is harmful towards anyone because that's never gotten us anywhere. But there will come a reckoning in our community.
Yes, it will.
With the strength and numbers that we have, and the unity that we have, and the family that we have in this community. There will be a reckoning. And for when that day comes, I just want to say to the Senate, be prepared. You caused this. You better be ready to fight for it.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much to everyone who's coming. I have some chants from a friend that gave me the nominal chants, but I like this one. Some of the politicians who are introducing these bills, Max Wise and Callaway. So Max Wise and Callaway, you won't take our rights away, yes?
No.
No.
They will not.
Max Wise, Callaway?
You will not
take our rights.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, thank you so much to everyone who is coming. Yeah,
You're welcome.
you can keep the signs if you would like. And yeah. Also last call for business. So thank you for that.
There's somebody over there.
Good number of people showing out here today for Queer Rights Rally. In contest of HB 470, which is going to put a lot of trans youth in dangerous positions. Had a number of guest speakers just now. Good little press conference and rally. A number of mainstream media showed out as well. Just kind of getting some lingering shots to see what's up.
Riot's over here.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
He's not too down.
All right, so just wrapped up a trans rights rally here in Louisville, Kentucky. Borrowed my megaphone. I bought one 2020 in the protests, and I've never used it in any protests, but I keep it in my trunk in case organizers don't happen to have one. Sometimes batteries are dead, sometimes they don't work, so I keep one just in case. Beautiful little rally. Some strong sentiments from trans youth, from the parents who have lost trans youth, from members of JCPS faculty. Just a good number of speakers that spoke out here today. We're probably going to chop some of that up, get it up on Instagram, probably TikTok, some of the other platforms. But if you're just tuning in, go back and check out some of those speeches. They were really, really moving. But we're going to go ahead and drop the live. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Stop HB 470. Call Andy Beshear. Call Andy Beshear. Tell him to veto. It has passed the House. It has passed the Senate. So call Andy Beshear. Tell him to veto. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Stay strong. Stay safe.